I'll take Jerome on. Unless you wanted to be there, JR. Hello, team. Welcome to another ATPGEO Politics video with myself, Jonathan M.S. Pearce, and my esteemed guests today. We have two guests for the price of one. Absolutely brilliant. We've got Bogdan from Drone Lab, and I did a fascinating live chat with him where we were discussing what we were going to be fundraising for, and he has all this knowledge about drone technology, and we went into some detail about drones and whatnot. And then we have Irina as well from Dzyga's Paw, and Dzyga's Paw is the charity that has been basically the platform through which Drone Lab as a kind of separate entity is fundraising. So sort of, I guess, kind of piggybacking on Dzyga's Paw to be able to provide for their friends in the 47th Assault Brigade. So we've been fundraising for some time, but because I was on holiday for a couple of weeks and everything went out of my brain and I've been fairly useless, I've not been pushing this, and I have to make huge apologies to Bogdan and Dzyga's Paw in that we haven't gone to town on fundraising. But I hope that we can do this again on a future fundraiser, assuming that the war isn't going to end next week with some amazing peace deal that's probably not going to happen. Anyway, so that's my introduction. There's only going to be a few people on this live probably because it was a bit of a last minute one, and the time of day that it is, but hopefully that will pick up. Irina, Bogdan, that's a long introduction. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Jonathan. We are happy to be here, and it happens just that exactly today there are both of us together. So yeah, I'm happy to be here with Bogdan.
Yeah, do you want to? Oh, sorry, and hi, Bogdan.
Yeah, I won't actually take more time. So yeah, hello everybody. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, do you want to tell us why you two are actually together? Because I think that's pretty interesting, and the audience would love to know. And this kind of, I guess, shows you the difference between, say, Ukraine and the UK or France or the US or wherever people are, in that what you're learning at university now might look a little bit different to what it might have done like 5 years ago. So do you want to tell us why you've been hanging out?
Yeah, so it's a great question. We actually, as we talked actually during our previous meeting with you, Jonathan, that it is really important for us in Ukraine to develop our technologies and spread across the front line and back line as well, so we can actually protect ourselves efficiently. And me and Irina, we decided to actually take our experience of drone building and fundraising and teach engineering students in one of the local universities in Ukraine, so that these guys will visit our English summer engineering school and will learn how to build their own FPV bomber, as well as operate it, and flew around the testing ground just to make sure that the quality of the made drone is good enough to be sent to the front line. And as well, we actually also had like a module with soft skills, so that these guys also would be able to fundraise for their own bombers they crafted.
Wow. And are these people, I mean, what are they generally learning at university? Are they learning stuff to do with kind of tech, or these people that are just doing a random module, but they're actually learning like French culture or something?
So most of them were students of applied sciences faculty. So they are either computer science students or IT and business analytics students. But we had one history student joining, which was really cool. So it's like up to them to choose. It's completely like a whole university school. So they choose the summer schools they assign to. But naturally, people from, sciences and applied stuff faculty chose this one because humanitarian studies people, when they read probably the name of the school, which sounded like UAV engineering summer school, they felt like they are not doing it this year.
Yeah, and we also actually, the primary motivation of doing this was just to spread this kind of domain and the application among primarily actually engineering students, computer science students, so that they will actually in the future, they will try to dive deeper into militech, defense tech, so that they will actually actively participate in the general technology development.
Yeah, and actually, this is something I've talked about previously, that the war in Ukraine is a very dark cloud, but you've got to look for a silver lining, and there are several silver linings. One would be defense tech. I know, military industrial complex is not something that everyone shouts about as being wonderful, but actually in terms of the technology, as you say, the domain of say, for example, drones, but military technology in general, this is something that Ukraine will have one of the greatest experiences of and has been at the forefront of innovation. And you can lead the world in some of these things, and therefore gives you something to for people to invest in and for you to command in the world. And that's a kind of silver lining. And there are other ones that the war has brought to you, although you wouldn't have wanted that to have happened, but you know, you take what you can, I guess. Before we go on, I just want to remind people, because we're going to do a raffle for this fundraiser that we've been doing. At the moment, we're up to $14,204. If you donate $20, for each $20 that you donate, you are eligible for a ticket, and the more tickets, the more chance you have of getting a prize. And as we're talking, before we do the raffle, I presume you've got like 5-10 minutes to get your last kind of donations in and help Bogdan's drone lab, which is all detailed. Go to atpgeo.com/donate and you'll be taken to this page. It'll give you the information about what is we are raising money for, to help Dan from the 47th Brigade, but we've obviously got Irina and Bogdan here on his behalf, and you know, Bogdan is putting together these drones, and you've got, you know, what you can donate, what it goes towards, a sort of build your own, a menu of stuff, if you like. And then, as I said, each $20 goes towards a ticket, and you can win one of three things. So you can win a Dzyga's Paw goodies bag that gives you patches and a flag and stickers and all sorts of cool stuff there. And then, you know, if you want something even more crazy to hang up in your study, you can have a downed Russian drone. I'm hoping that customs is going to be all right with that coming through. But
we will find ways.
They will find ways. They'll fly it to you on another drone. So that's pretty damned cool. And we also have some stunning artwork. You can choose one of these four, I believe. It's a kind of marriage of traditional and modern artwork from Vidro, an art house in Lviv. And Lviv is the city where these guys are from and are currently working. So some fantastic prizes that you can win in the raffle that we're going to do. So please get your last minute donations in and help Bogdan. Bogdan, you were telling us last time how much you need a month or a week to build your drones. What can you remind us of that?
Yeah, so roughly the Danilus unit, they use like around 10 bombers a week, meaning that we need to have around 40-50 bombers per month of full-time daylight work. Yeah, we remind that these bombers we create, for now they are basically have daylight cameras, so soldiers can work with them only during daylight. And the cost of one bomber is around 15,000 hryvnias, so it's around $200, like $250. So meaning that the given sum we raised actually will be enough to craft around 40 bombers. It means actually a huge, because it means that soldiers from Danilus unit will be able to work entire month of time without worrying much about their machines and equipment around.
That's absolutely amazing. So that is a full month's worth of funding, which is absolutely fabulous. Thanks, Daniel, for Dan Smith. And Dan came out to Lviv, so that was fantastic, and came to actually Dzyga's Paw with us when we visited you last time. So, but anyway, that's fantastic. So a full month's worth of equipment for that particular unit. That's fabulous. Can you remind the audience what the drones are that we're fundraising for? What are their capabilities?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we create quite a unique platform, I would say, that is based on FPV technology. So it's 10-inch FPV drone that can carry out different types of stuff in the front line. So it can carry out bombs to the places that it's needed. It can carry out like different logistical stuff like medicine, ammunition, protective gears, whatever is needed. It can carry out like the gun nets for intercepting other types of drones. So it's quite unique platform that you can apply for different scenarios in the front line. And yeah, as we discussed during previous call, it's partially the substitution of the DJI Mavics that are like 2.5x more expensive for these purposes. Again, we are not talking about substituting DJI Mavics for air intelligence because they have very high quality cameras, and just saying it would be bullshitting. We are talking about like very specific function of the DJI substitution, and this function is logistics overall and bombing technology.
Yeah, so there's no point, risking a DJI that's worth 2.5 times more for a bombing run where it may be quite risky, that the drone might have a stronger chance, a greater chance to get shot down or something. So you'll use a cheaper drone that can do exactly the same. But if you want high quality reconnaissance, then the cameras on the DJIs are just better. And
yeah,
so
exactly.
there's that.
Plus, the level of payload you can carry is 2x or even more is higher, basically. So if we talk about DJI 3 or 4th version, Pro version, then the payload will be like, in our bombers, it's about 2 kilograms, 2-3 kilograms per some specific range, like distance range. But in Mavics, it's like below 1 kilogram, I would say. Otherwise,
Really?
motors will go crazy.
So that's interesting. So for an IED that you're going to drop from a drone, I presume you'd have multiple ones on there. For the sort of drones you're talking about, I generally see like two things being dropped. The larger Vampire drones, Baba Yagas, are obviously going to be able to carry way more, but maybe more depending on how big the munitions are. How many get dropped? How heavy are the munitions generally?
Yeah, so usually it really depends on the distance, because if you have like bigger bomb, then the distance will be shortened. So
Right.
Usually our guys, they use like 1.5 kilogram bombs, and they fly for like 10 kilometers, within 10 kilometers. So they also use from time to time like bombs weighing like 3 kilograms, but then your effective distance of work will be shortened till like 5-6 kilometers. So yeah, basically 2 use case scenarios. And of course, Vampire and that type of bombers, they carry much heavier stuff on longer distances, but it's a bit different use case because they 100x more expensive than our bombers. And yeah, it's just like 2 different complementary types of drones, I would say, that you can use in different scenarios and different goals.
Brilliant. So that's really cool. Thank you for that information. And I suggest that, a lot of my videos are time sensitive because I'm talking about like news and topical stuff that you're not going to really go back and look at most of my videos, say 2 or 3 months later or whatever. But the interview with Bogdan is well worth people checking out. It's a kind of evergreen video where we're looking at, what the sort of technology that's involved, what the capabilities are, what's involved in Bogdan's work of putting together drones and what the needs of the units are. So that, honestly, go and check that video out if you haven't seen it. It's a really interesting chat. And obviously, I've spoken to Irina before, and you can check out videos where I've interviewed her and her husband, Dimko, who is fighting on the front lines. And in fact, Dimko said a really interesting thing on Twitter yesterday, Irina, where he said, we are clearing out Russians in Pokrovsk in industrial numbers, industrial quantities, I think is what he said. Watch this space, kind of thing. Can you let us on to that? Because obviously we've been hearing a lot about Pokrovsk, about the attack that took place, getting in behind Ukrainian lines, and that's been cleared out by a number of units that have come in to save the day. And they look to be counterattacking a bit more than that, maybe in the south of Pokrovsk, southeastern Pokrovsk. So I know OPSEC and whatnot, but is there anything that you know about what Dimko's experiencing and what's going on there?
So yes, I've been reported like by many different units, including Dimko's, but also like probably all of the people know now that Azo is there, and we work a lot with Azo, like we work closely with them. So based on the reports, but it's not kind of official. I'm not quite sure it's okay to share, but I think it's not like anything very special. So based on just like talking to different people who are fighting there, what it feels now is that this thing you saw on the map, everyone was showing around and getting everywhere. There is no people over there as of now. It's just like all burned out, all destroyed. But there are risks of like Russians and other nationalities fighting for Russia, just like running away because they were kind of very like sensitive because they were kind of encircled. This was like this one huge breakdown they made. So all the people were destroyed. They are trying to send new forces, but the leftovers of the folks who were killed were just like running around into villages around that are actually controlled by Ukrainians. So the funniest thing I heard was just some random Russians walking around in Dobrobilya, for example, which used to be like a safe city. So there is a concern now that all of these soldiers that were running away are kind of infiltrating into the so-called like safe cities where Ukrainian soldiers would go for rest and relax days. We will see how it develops, but in general, I think the situation got a lot better because Ukrainian command put a lot of great units, like top-notch units, to fight it, and they destroyed the enemy. They basically had green light for using the munitions, using the artillery to destroy it. So yeah, I hope it will be eliminated soon.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, here's the map, and it's that whole area there. We're hearing that these towns have been, or these villages have been broadly liberated, but you know, Dobropilya is a fair. I'm just trying to find Dobropilya now. It's disappeared, but it's a oh, there it is. It's a little bit away from there, so it's quite scary that you might have people, you know, infiltrating into some of these places quite far to the west. So yeah, interesting, but certainly looks better news for the Ukrainians there than it was previously. So that's really good news, and great that Dimko's something to do with that. We know, as he's told us, that he fights or he operates drones on the Donetsk front. So he's obviously, you know, there or thereabouts. It's all happening there for sure. Okay.
I can tell he finally got excited. So I see him being really excited every day, like sending messages like, we just destroyed like 10 Russians. I so fucking love it. I need to do more. So, so he's definitely tired, but excited about the work they do.
Oh, that's brilliant. If you want to reach out and see if he wants a chat about his experiences as far as he's able to talk about them, obviously OPSEC and whatnot, put him in touch. I mean, I can reach out to him, but if you speak to him today, say, you know, if he wants to chat with JP, I am more than happy to oblige. So let's think about the raffle then. Let's just remind people of the prizes to, I guess, get you ready. So we have 14,357 already just in the course of this video. We've added a fair bit. In fact, since this morning, I think we were 12,000 or something this morning, and now we're 14,000 or something. So that's another couple of thousand, which is what, almost 10 drones, maybe 8 drones or something. So that's amazing. So the 3 prizes, we've got a goodie bag from Dzyga's Port, and let me just remove the link there, so you can see you got stickers and flags and patches and all sorts of stuff there. So thank you very much to Dzyga's Port for providing that. We have a downed Russian drone that you can put up, and you can say, I was responsible for this. You can hang it up. It can be a conversation starter hanging from your ceiling as soon as someone comes in your apartment or your house, and you say, what the hell is that hanging from the ceiling? It's like, yeah, imagine that was just over your head, how scary that would be. But luckily, because we've helped out with these guys, one of these bad boys has been shot down, and yeah, so you can show off to your friends. and then some wonderful artwork. If you're not too bellicose, if you're not so interested in warlike things like that, a bit of art, bit of culture, Ukraine style. So some Lviv artwork, some traditional married with the modern here, and there we have it. So some artwork from Vidro in Lviv. So those are the 3 prizes. The way you're going to do it, so the way you did it before, you talked us through your little program. Is that what you're going to be using again?
Yes, and I'm just adding the last 2 donations that just arrived because people are donating like crazy. I guess it was from Graham. Just one moment. Thank you,
That's
Graham.
good news. So your last minute donations will be included. So Graham, don't you worry. You haven't been left out. She's on it. She's absolutely on it.
I'm on it. I exported everything up front, but now I have to manually copy paste it. So.
Oh, geez. See, this is what happens when you ask me to do things. I just make things more difficult than they should be. By the way, we agreed to have this video, this raffle, and I said, right, yeah, Irina or her team said, we can do 5 o'clock Kiev time. They said, that's brilliant. 5 o'clock Kiev time, 2 hours difference. That's 7 o'clock my time. I put it in for 7 o'clock today. And I just went 2 hours the wrong way. And it came to 5 o'clock their time. And Irina was like, yeah, I'm here. Hello. I'm like, oh, God, I'm just eating lunch. Oh, dear. So, yeah, this is what happens when I'm asked to organize things. And this is why JR normally does all the organization for campaigns, because I'm freaking useless. Anyway, just it's lucky I've been telling you that absolute rubbish, because I've made your life even more difficult, that there's even more donations have come in. So that's wonderful. Yeah. Thank you very much for those last minute donations.
I just added Graham's and we received one more. So this is the last one I'll add in the
okay. Otherwise this goes on forever. But Bogdan's just thinking, yeah, let it go on forever, my man.
We can do a stream like that and just sit here, you know, and I will copy paste the donation. I'm fine with that. I'm curious how much could be like.
Yeah, it wouldn't make the most interesting viewing, or maybe it will. I don't know. It depends how scintillating our conversation is. Okay, so that's all in. So you're going to put it into a big electronic tombola. A tombola in the UK is like one of these things that rattles round and random things, and you pick out a thingy. So that's kind of what we're doing when you go to a school fair or something. So Irina's on it, and what's our first prize going to be?
You choose. What's your favorite?
Let's go for the goodie bag.
Yeah. Okay. The goodie bag from Dzyga's Paw and 47s. Yes. Okay. And Kopternia stickers. Did you see them? They are very fancy. Okay.
So the Kopternia. Can you just remind us that's obviously Bogdan's thing?
Yes, it's Bogdan's thing, and it's actually a very fun naming. I'm not sure I can translate that, but let me look it up.
I guess something similar might be like dronarium or something like that. Like right. You can, if you spell it in Ukrainian, it sounds like in Ukrainian we have a word copter. And then, yeah, of course, copter, right? And we say Kopternia, it's like place where copters are created, like, or something like that.
Yeah. So dronarium, but actually that sounds pretty good. Yeah, good effort.
But there is another meaning. So in Ukrainian, there is a verb, koptiti, which actually means like to smoke something, like smoked meat, and it's really like, when you hear this, it looks like it's a place to smoke meat, but actually they have a lot of smoke inside. Like before they put in the ventilation system, they had a lot of smoke inside from soldering and stuff. So
yeah,
very fun because it's like double meaning thing.
Multiple meanings. I like that.
Okay, I got the latest donation. As of now, in total, we have $14,435, and the last donation included was $29. From Daniel from the UK, basically.
Yeah, that's Daniel Smith, who was out in Dzyga's Paw with us. So awesome, Dan. So you're on board too.
Nice. Okay, let's kick it off from here. I will share my piece of raffle code and show it to you.
So I will remove this. And then you can add I guess there we go. At stage, there we go. Look at all this code. I mean, this is what clever people do. People,
Yeah, we're at university, streaming from universities. That's what we do. Okay, basically, I have all the donors' data here, but I will not show it because it's private data with emails and stuff. And we have the ticket price, which was $20. And now we just like load this Google Sheet again and see the raffle summary. So this is some fun statistics on how it went. This is the final total amount and number of total tickets sold, almost 700 tickets. And we have a very willing to win person with this call sign, JD. I don't know who is JD, maybe you know, but they bought 200 tickets, which is kind of cool.
Wow. Thank you so much, JD.
Yes, and now we will select our first winner. So I will run this and it will appear below. Okay. So this is some anonymous donor who didn't provide a name, but we have their email. And the donation was from August, or I'm not sure if it's August 7th or July 8th, but
Bloody Americans and their stupid like conventions of dating. Yeah.
July.
Probably it's July. Yeah, because years come first then. Okay, so it's a person who donated this pretty big amount, and we will contact you, and you just won the Dzyga merch, Ukrainian signed flag, and the merch from 47th Brigade, and the fancy stickers from Bogdan's drone.
Woohoo! Well done, Anonymous. That's awesome, Anonymous. We love you, Anonymous. No, honestly, thank you, because that's a really generous donation as well. So fantasticals. Excellent.
It is. It's like 4 drones, I believe.
Yeah, it's bigger, actually.
Okay.
So 4, like I would say like even 6 or 7.
Okay, that's pretty
An individual who's helped to donate for 7 drones is phenomenal. So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's almost entire week of work.
That's amazing. Yeah, and almost an entire week. That's phenomenal. So thank you very much, Mr. or Mrs. or Ms. Anonymous or Master Anonymous. You could be a small child. FPV drone, Russian downed FPV drone is next on the list. We'll go through this process again and see who gets to get that.
Yes, so I just need to click this again. And the Russian FPV drone is actually a very cool gift. We will see if we can deliver it to you, but we'll make it through our race. So raffle winner is Valarauko. This is a name. And they
Valarauko.
Yes.
Valarauko, well done. Woohoo!
Yeah, so they donated on July 26th in the morning. And just for $117, you get down Russian FPV drones, and you get Capternia the ability to create additional bomber drones for the 47th Brigade. So thank you very much for donating. We will contact you via this long email, and hopefully you will respond.
Can I just say, so thank you very much, Valarauko. That's really, really cool. Can I just take Dan Smith to town on this? So I presume he's talking about the last one. Great job. Reckon they're an old person, an oldie, because they're using Hotmail. Right. I have a Hotmail email address, right? So screw you. I'm not old, or maybe I am. My Hotmail address was from 1996 when I started uni, my first year of uni. I took a year off, went backpacking around the world, came back, went to uni, and then they invented the internet or whatever. And then I got an email address, and I got a Hotmail address, and my Hotmail address doesn't have a number on. That's how freaking early I was into. I've had people say to me before, "Man, you've got that that handle without any numbers." I was like, yeah, 1996, and I've been using that bloody email address ever since. So okay, it may be old. So Dan, you might have a point, but like, come on, Hotmail's still cool. It's come back around. You can now get Hotmail addresses again. I think they've allowed them back again, so you can generate a Hotmail address. So hey, don't slag off Hotmail. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
Do you just have your name or your name and surname and something? Because if it was just your name without any number, like jonathan@hotmail.com, that will be freaking cool.
Hot.
It is fairly cool. It's like close to being cool.
Okay.
Like I'm you know, I'm OG. I'm the OG like emailer. So, you know, many people don't think I'm cool, right? But actually I know deep inside I'm a deeply cool person.
Next time we can actually do a raffle to sell this mail for a couple of $1,000.
Yeah. So and you can also go sift through all my junk mail while you're at it, and also answer all the emails that I haven't answered in the last freaking 6 months because I'm spending too much time talking about Ukraine. So yeah, let's do that. So anyway, so Valeralko, that was a random aside. Valeralko, thank you very much. That's amazing. And then oh, I see Dan. He's like, so he's actually got a Hotmail as well. So yeah, you know, and I thought Dan was pretty cool. So, you know, we can be cool together. So we are now going to go for the third prize. That's enough talk about emails. And the third prize is, of course, the wonderful piece of art from Lviv, from Vidro. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the art?
Yes, so actually, it's Vidro was founded by a friend of Danilo, who is serving in the 47th Brigade, and it's an amazing Ukrainian. I don't know if I can call them a store, because it's something more. It's like an art platform, because they are creating arts and then producing a different type of clothing and merch and paintings with this art. And they integrate Ukrainian culture into their paintings and into their like daily life of Ukrainians, and not only Ukrainians, as we see now, because somebody of you will get it and probably wear it. My favorite from them is this. These are famous Ukrainian writers Taras Shevchenko and Lesya Ukrainka in front of burning Kremlin. So I kind of
done in the style, and that's done in the style of the famous painting. I forget what it's called, with the man and the woman next to each other with the pitchfork. I forget what it's called, but yeah, that's a really nice riff. That.
Yeah, so they just have lots of things like that, and they're always happy to provide the stuff for us for our raffles. So they just gave it to us for free, so we don't buy it, kind of not using any of like your donations or whatever to buy it. Just make a deal with them, and they are happy to support us in this way. And actually, they are really generous, because I know they work with a lot of Ukrainian initiatives and volunteers. So it's just cool to know it, and I'm happy to support them and to show them around, so that you see it and maybe you like something. It's a great kind of a way to promote Ukrainian culture, but also look fancy and look hipsterish.
Awesome. Well, as I've already told you, everyone knows I'm that cool. So when I come to Lviv, like I'll get myself one of their t-shirts. So I will take myself from the highest level of cool to even higher, and I'll be more than happy to support them.
Awesome. Yeah, so they have a lot of different stuff on their website, and they have a showroom in Lviv. You can check it out. Great. So let's select the winner for the painting. The painting will also be not easy to get out of Ukraine, basically, because we learned we are not just allowed to ship paintings, because we first need to register it as an artwork with some administration and do some paperwork, but we already did it a couple of times. It's like you're stealing some, arts from Ukraine. You cannot just send them. You need to register everything. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Good old bureaucracy.
Yeah. So I just ran it, and our winner is AJ Simo.
Oh, that's awesome. AJ Simo's it's a great, I know this person. So AJ Simo's a great supporter of the channel, and he's a Brit, and that obviously makes him slightly superior to most other humans. So obviously joking, all my international friends are British, are not superior. Anyway, no, we don't like to talk about superiority of certain countries, because then we get into war and colonizing, and then that's like what Russia are doing to you guys. So yeah, everyone's equal, we're all cool, and everyone's entitled to sovereignty and self-determination. So that's put an end to that. So that's awesome. AJ Simo has won a prize, so that's fantastical. It's really, really cool. and hopefully he will receive that and won't just receive some kind of customs declaration that he's fallen foul of the law.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be all right, especially when you're coming. If you fail to ship it, we'll just give everything to you, and you will have to take care of it.
Yeah, I'll have to stuff it down my trousers and go through like customs. Yeah.
No, it's always easier. It's always easier to carry it through the border. Like he asked France for help, so we even like got some munitions, some like pilot helmets, and nobody asks you anything if you're a Brit going through a border. So don't worry.
Well, so last time we visited you, we got some ammunition cases and whatnot from your garage. And Jonathan Fink, famously, I've told this story already, but he famously got stopped because JR, who's in the background, just with us here, JR had some stuff, and Fink had some stuff in his case, and it was all like empty NATO ammo case and some old cartridges or empty shells or whatever. Anyway, he got taken off the train, and then we didn't see him again for like 12 hours later. So we carried on the train. The train stopped for like 40 minutes as we were waiting to see what happened. Then they said to Jonathan, "You're not getting back on the train, mate." And so he was lucky he could speak Russian. The reason we sent him, he was like our sacrificial lamb because he could speak Russian. So he went off to speak to them, but it was also his bag and JR's stuff. He then got into trouble with that. We then went on to Krakow. We were drinking beer in Krakow, thinking, "God, I hope Jonathan's all right." Meanwhile, he's getting like electrocuted and probed and everything by the well, he wasn't really, but by the Ukrainian customs, and then joins us like after going to the wrong station and then missing his train or whatever. It was terrible, but we loved it. We laughed and we drank beer and rejoiced in his misfortune. And poor old Jonathan.
But did you get the ammunition in the very end?
No. So they took it off him. But do you know what? I cheekily do have one down there. So that they were as part of my Ukraine display. So they were like going through our cases, then they went through my case and it was all right. They didn't really go through it very much. And then they went to town on his case, whipped him off, and I'm like, because I was just next door with the same thing in my case, and they didn't notice. So I'm all right. As long as I'm all right, that's fine, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
that's a fun story. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm hoping to be in Ukraine in the coming months, as we are. Our next campaign fundraiser, which is going to start after this one, is for Car for Ukraine. Ivan and the guys from Car for Ukraine, who you guys I think know of, I presume, yeah. And they're absolutely fantastic as well. So we're really happy. We've done a number of campaigns with them previously. So we'll be doing some fundraising for vehicles to let the audience know, and then driving some of us will be driving some of those vehicles out at some point soonish. And it'd be absolutely marvelous to meet up with you guys. I know we've been in touch already about that, but I'd love to see Bogdan's workshop. I would love to see drone manufacturers or anything connected with the war from Lviv, and to get a sense, report back to the audience, the wonderful things that you guys are doing. You guys in general in say Lviv to help with the war effort. So it'll be really great to hang out with you guys at some point, at least hopefully, if you have a free spare minute.
For sure. Likewise, we'll be happy to host you here and give some more munition to create a bit more adventures for you in the border.
You'll be like, "Oh, take this."
Yes, please.
Yeah. Well, last time we went to the Partisan restaurant, which is, I know it's a bit kind of touristy in Lviv, but it's this wonderful restaurant where you go down and you have these kind of, it's sort of underground, and to get let in, you get given vodka at the door, and then you got to say the password, which is Slava Ukraini, I think, or Herem Slava. And then you go in, and then you've got like guns and hand grenades and all this funky stuff on the wall, of like going back in partisan times, back to like Second World War era. And it's just one of these just remarkably wonderful restaurants where you've just got the whole atmosphere, and it's just really, really brilliant. So I'm going to demand that I go there again, even though like you guys would probably be like, "That's not proper Lviv," but I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
I was like, last time I was there was like maybe 6 years ago, but yeah, well, it's cool in terms of the concept. I agree, the concept is great.
Yeah, and I always wonder about going to Ukraine because you kind of feel like a war tourist. But then I think, well, actually, what's wrong with that? As long as it's safe and it's responsible, because I would way rather I put my money into Ukraine, into the Ukrainian economy, than to go to, I don't know, no offense, France, but go to France for a week or a weekend or something like that. And Ukraine needs that. So, you know, it's such a shame that there are no airports that are open in Ukraine, because that really stops people being able to come into like the safer areas of Ukraine and to get that money coming in. So yeah, I on the one hand, I think, is it appropriate, and on the other hand, I think it's definitely what Ukraine needs.
It is. I always tell people to come and don't even question that, because you're coming and actually like bringing cars and you're fundraising. So that's not a question at all. And for any people who just want to come visit as a tourist, even if you don't have a single like purpose except just seeing Ukraine, please come. You're very welcome. People will never tell you, like, will never ask you why did you come, or ask anything like that. It's we are very happy actually to have foreigners come here and see what happens and experience Ukraine. So you're really, really welcome. But if you need like a reason, if you still feel like a war tourist, just contact Dzyga. We'll give you a tour of our office. This will be already enough of a reason. So.
Or you can also join Copternia and actually solder a couple of drones. So
Let's do it. Let's do it. Like, I'm not very good on my feet, but I can't really feel my fingers, but I'll try and solder something. I'll try. What I'm good at is talking, right? So if anything involves talking, then I'm your man. I just put me in a corner and just say, just talk, and I'll do it. But most other things, I'm a bit shite. And speaking of which, so Michael's like, you need some Duolingo, learn to speak Ukrainian. I've thought about this previously. I used to be a linguist, so I've got a degree in French, and I used to be very good at languages. But my multiple sclerosis is actually, it's like I find things difficult to pronounce now that I used to be. Like 10 years ago, if I was doing the job I was doing now of reporting on Ukraine, and the words and the names of places, I would have found much easier. But my MS has screwed my my diction and a lot of my cognitive faculties. My multiple sclerosis has messed with, and actually language I find much more difficult these days, and it's really annoying because I was a linguist, and I would otherwise have found learning Ukrainian probably quite easy because that was always my forte. But nevertheless, I should do a better job of learning Ukrainian words. So yeah,
we can do some practice here in Lviv.
Yeah.
As long as it involves, does the practice involve either A, Ukrainian wine, or B, Ukrainian beer?
Or C, Ukrainian drones.
All of the above. I wouldn't join me, beer, and drones together. That's just a disaster. But yeah. Happy
it
days.
Sounds like this famous cartoon or series, like TV series, Love, Death, and Robots, and then we have like wine, beer, and drones.
Yeah. That's my kind of TV series. Well, fantastic. Well, look, thank you guys. I really appreciate you doing this raffle with us and sorting out those prizes. I know it's going to be a bit of bureaucracy for you, Irina, and your team, but thank you, and hopefully we've helped out Drone Lab and Bogdan, and importantly helped out the end users, which are going to be, you know, the 47th Assault Brigade and Dan. So, you know, I hopefully you are happy to have to allowed us to have teamed up together. We've reached almost $15,000, and I do apologize for not having put enough effort into it over the last few weeks.
No worries about that. Please wait for the reports coming soon. Probably be planning a trip to Danilo's unit sometime in September. And if we got the drones by that date, we'd probably have some fancy reports. If not, I'm not sure about Danilo, because every time we ask him to make some pictures, to make photo reports, it ends up really bad. He's like, I'm a kid. I do not know how to make pictures. So
fingers over the lens, everything.
Exactly. So, but we will definitely do pictures here and before sending it to him, because sending it to him means he will use it straight away and don't care about the pictures. But if you travel to the front lines, we will provide a great report. So wait for that. Stay tuned in and join Jonathan's next fundraiser for cars.
Yeah, so we got Car for Ukraine, and then I was speaking to JR before, like, you know, for us, it's about who can you trust, who do you know is doing a really good job, and actually, you know, we love Dzyga's Paw, and obviously Bogdan, Drone Lab, Copternia, and we love Car for Ukraine. So, like, I don't see a problem of switching from one to the other. So, you know, I was saying to JR, you know, we could continue doing what we've just done, or another Dzyga's Paw initiative or whatever after we've done our Car for Ukraine one, assuming, as I say, that Donald Trump isn't gonna fly in his cape and underwear and save the world and solve the war. So I assume that's not going to happen, but you never know.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's safer to say you never know, but
Yeah.
at the same time, make thousands and thousands of drones.
Yeah, make those drones just in case.
Yes.
Well, I for one, I'm super excited about FP Firepoint, isn't it? FP1s and FP5s. I'm going to see what's going to happen in Ukraine over the next month with your new 1,600 kilometer and 3,000 kilometer drones and cruise missiles. I think they're potentially game changers. So hopefully some good news coming out from Ukraine in the next few weeks. We shall see. It's just to give the audience some kind of positive ending to this. But the real positives is that you guys have fundraised an awful lot of money for Bogdan and for through Dzyga's Paw. Thank you very much to Dzyga's Paw for facilitating all of this and for sorting out the prizes. And, you know, best of luck to Bogdan, and hopefully the funds really will make a difference.
Yeah, it definitely will. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the amazing campaign, and thanks to the ATPGEO community. We love you. We love reading your comments. I'm not sure they are displayed on the website because sometimes people put personal details in and we are super worried. So it's just our team who sees like additional comments, and it's been amazing to watch what people write. Thank you for all your support. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, no, please do, actually, because I'm really happy. I don't know, proud, because that sounds almost like it's something to do with me, but it's the people. But I'm really proud of the ATP geopolitics community, because they are a wonderful bunch of people whose hearts are clearly in the right place. And actually, we've developed a really nice, a nice sense of place and community, and we all are concerned over one thing, which is Ukraine prevailing in the war, because that's what is good and right and proper for the world. So, you know, I love the guys. So it doesn't surprise me that they said wonderful things, because they are wonderful people. So big love to all the community, to the team out there. Really appreciate you, and thank you, Irina. Thank you, Bogdan. Stay on the line, and I'll just say my goodbyes as we finish. So I'm going to stop the live stream, but we'll continue just to say the last sort of thanks and whatnot. Thank you very much to all of you who have contributed. Thank you to Johnny Christensen, who's helped out with a super sticker. Really appreciate that, matey. And keep your eyes peeled for what we're going to do in terms of the next campaign. And I guess the last thing to say is Slava Ukraini.
Heroям slava.
Awesome. Oh, and sorry, famous long goodbyes. JR needs a really big thanks for helping out with the campaigns always. And I always forget to thank him. So JR, I know you're just down there ready to speak to us in a second, but you need public thanks for your awesomeness. So thank you. And for Benny Pie for sorting out website things that people's links can, all that kind of stuff. Thank you, everyone.